The story begins with our MC, Zhou Zheng, who has reached level 200, thief profession in the game. He was dominating every opponent he battles. But for the past 5 years he was hiding and grinding to reach that level. Suddenly a message occurs saying his account has been reported and it's going to be banned due to cheating softwares. Our MC gets mad and smashes his computer screen. Following by an electric shock leads him to death. After a while he opened his eyes, falling to the ground in front of some men and women. A man stepped up ordering him to stand up. Zhou picked his sword and stand up willing to kill the one who ordered him. Immediately a man with blue hair stopped the fight by dragging him to the outside. While he's being dragged, Zhou absorbed the memories of his current body. At the moment he realized he isn't dreaming, but instead he has been resurrected in this world, is similar to the world he lived in. But 10 years ago a universal firestorm ruined this world. Since then many things changed. Many people become zombies. After that accident many people who lived awakened a type of ability called star power. Those who have star power can be 10 times or even 100 times stronger than normal humans. Luckily in this world his father is a rank 5 star power pro. He's also this way city's leader. But even being resurrected Zhou still cannot cultivate. Zhou's father entered the room. The father sits at the bed wants to try again awakening Zhou's star power. But we already know he can't cultivate. Despite of that, his father keeps using that method trying to help him. 2 hours has passed. And still he can't feel any power. Zhou apologized for being a trash. The father tells him not be discouraged and he will protect him as long as he alive. While his father leaving the room, a window appears saying system has been activated, do you wish to enter the game? Zhou sees his old 200 level thief character from the previous game. After a short time he clicks the yes. Another window appears showing his level and attributes, but this time it's only level 1. Also the system has other features like the shop, mount, and skills. Zhou still thinking that was trash wondering where he could find a place to level up and grind again. A girl enters the room telling him dinner is ready. While he's responding, Zhou raises his head. Surprisingly he saw the pretty girl. Next to her a window shows her name Su Yunween, as well as her attributes. Zhou stands up approaching her. Su Yun with her red face asks him what is he trying to do. Zhou points his hand toward her chest, telling her he wants to check if that window is real. She misunderstood him and left the room. Minutes ago, while he's eating dinner with his father and Su Yun, Zhou discovered that all other people's attributes can be seen, except higher level ones. The next day he went outside with the blue hair man Lan Zai. Zhou asked him if they have guns. Lan Zai took him to the shooting area. When they arrived, Yan Bo Shun and his follower approached them. Zhou started practicing. After a short time Zhou tells Yan Bo Shun he will take the gun and play for a few days. Zhou and Lan Zai are close to the entrance of the city. Lan Zai trying to stop Zhou from leaving by telling him it's dangerous. Zhou told him not be worried, he just wanna kill few zombies to see if he can level up. Zhou and Lan Zai reached the defensive wall. Immediately a big man jumped from that wall. His name is Zhu Li, not to mention his high attributes. Zhou tells him Uncle Zhu we're here to help kill zombies. During the time, some zombies are passing by the defensive line. Zhou wants to showcase his shooting skill. He aims at the zombie hand and he shoots. After shooting he noticed that shooting its arm only dropped a few health point. He catches his breath and uses the skill weak point scan. Zhou killed the zombie by shooting his head. A small window appears saying XP gained 100. Now he's certain that killing monsters will get experience points. He killed all the remaining zombies, thus he leveled up. A status window appeared. Each time he levels up he gets undistributed attribute points. Zhou added 3 points to agility and 2 to strength. Zhu Li's follower found a star crystal. According to Zhu Li, star crystal's rank is distributed into selections: white, blue, green, purple, orange and red. The white one is the lowest. Also it has low, medium and high rank crystals. Half a month later, Zhou reached level 4 plus raised his attributes. While he was talking with his uncle Zhu Li, a car approached the defensive wall. On the back of the car his father and father's follower were fighting with the zombies. Zhou protected them by shooting the chasing zombies. They made it into safety. The father said that they had met some trouble with poisonous zombies, but Zhou realized he's hitting something by looking to the damaged car. Moreover, how can a 2-star rank martial artist be injured by normal zombie? Short while ago, the uncle, Zhu, the father and his followers are going back to their home. The father ordered the driver to stop to show Zhu what happens if you get scratched by poisonous zombie. The father puts his gun to the martial artist head and then he kills him, otherwise he will turn to poisonous zombie. In that moment Zhu realized in this world, life is priceless. The family having a dinner, Soo-yeon with worried expression asked Zhu why is he not eating, but he was still shocked from the previous event. His father told him he has to get used to that kind of thing in order to take his position, while his father is leaving he restricted Zhu from leaving the house. The next day, he escaped from his room's window, leaving a message to Soo-yeon to help him keeping his escape a secret. Zhu reached the forest followed by Lan Zai trying to stop him. Zhu told him he's sick of zombies because the amount of experience he gets from them is getting less due to his current level, but Lan Zai insists on stopping him from entering the forest. Zhu pointed his gun at Lan Zai. Without any hesitation he shoots, but he was targeting the gray shadow snake. Even Lan Zai, being martial artist, wasn't able to sense the snake's presence. After that, Zhu entered the forest hunting more shadow snakes. It is almost night, he returned back to the city with snake meat that he has hunted over the past half month. His father found out that he was leaving the house through the rumored god sniper, as Zhu was killing snakes with one shot. Soo-yeon expresses her regret for not being able to stop him. On the same day, rumors were spreading about Zhu being a god sniper. The leader, Yan Bo-shun, gets upset about being compared to Zhu and coincidentally meets with him, but Zhu ignores him. Bo-shun challenges Zhu to hit moving targets, and they bet a green crystal. Zhu finds the challenge boring and instead suggests they go hunting. The person who hunts the most is the winner. Zhu and Lan Zai are sitting outside the city at a treat runk, where Lan Zai warns Zhu about Bo-shun's acting skills. Zhu tells Lan Zai not to worry and then sees a large mosquito. He picks up his sword and jumps directly at its head, then another mosquito appears and starts attacking him. Zhu easily dodges it and kills it with his knife, showing that he is now familiar with close combat. An old man sitting on a building, overlooking a large gathering of zombies in the streets below. He declared that this was where the real game begins. The following morning, Zhu and Lan Zai pass by the people of the city, who wish Zhu luck in his upcoming battle against Bon Yun. Meanwhile, Zhu's father and his followers leave to handle some matter. Zhu and Lan Zai visit the city's armory to request a bow. The old man in charge informs them that the only bow available is extremely heavy, requiring a minimum strength of 300 kilograms to pull and shoot. Zhu tests the bow and effortlessly shoots an arrow, hitting the grandma in the head. After apologizing, the old man discovers a fluke on the arrowhead, showing how Zhu is precise at his shooting. Zhu and Lan Zai venture into the forest, where Zhu gains experience points by killing multiple mosquitoes, reaching level 15 and unlocking 2 new skills: dual slash and backstab. Zhu questions himself whether these skills are useful in reality and then asks Lan Zai where he can find stronger monsters. Lan Zai takes him to the bamboo forest, where they encounter the sword wild boar, a formidable foe that even rank 4 and 5 martial artists avoid. The boar immediately attacked Zhu, but he dodged it by jumping in the air, and Lan Zai rushed forward to protect him. Zhu quickly moved past Lan Zai, using dual slash followed by backstab to kill the sword wild boar. Now convinced of the effectiveness of these skills. Later, at dinner with his family, Zhu's father was confused about whether to praise or scold him for killing the sword wild boar. Zhu asked for some crystals or gold to bet on tomorrow's battle. Meanwhile, Yan Bo-shun was also training for the upcoming battle and reached martial artist rank 3 during his training. On the day of the hunt, the people of the city and Bo-shun's followers gather to provide encouragement. The challenge coordinator declares that any methods are allowed for hunting monsters, and victory is determined by the value of the hunted monster. Zhu and Bo-shun depart in opposite directions by car. The scene shifts to an old man who receives a sudden mission through his radio to kill Code 2 target, and the reward for completing the task is 1 green crystal. Zhou Zheng is the target of this mission. The old man is the stranger who was previously seen sitting on a building. His name is Tang Shan. Rank 5 martial artist. A girl is shown jumping from one balcony to another until she reaches her master's door. She then tells her master that the mission to kill Zhu has been posted. It becomes clear that her master is willing to kill Zhu in order to increase his profits. Zhu followed Soo-yeon's map to the area where the shadow wolves reside. As he approached, the wolves sensed his presence and started to gather around him. Without hesitation, Zhu jumped right in front of them, ready to fight. He battled the wolves and managed to kill 5 of them. With that, he reached level 16, but his body was exhausted and he suffered from injuries sustained during the fight. He took the game's health potion but discovered it smelled like sanitizer, then poured it on his injury. The potion did not heal the injuries when applied topically, so Zhou realized that the only way to benefit from it is to drink it. After drinking it, his injuries quickly recovered. Concurrently in the surrounding of the forest, a group of martial artists were chit-chatting. The girl in the group warned them to be quiet as someone was coming, and suddenly Tang Shan arrived and showed them a picture of Zhou, asking if they had seen him. One of the group members admitted to seeing Zhou earlier, but his friend tried to shush him. However, it was too late, and Tang Shan killed the girl instantly. One of the group rushed towards him, but Tang Shan killed him effortlessly without even moving. He then killed the last remaining member of the group. Zhou was sitting on a tree trunk and noticed a Wolf King boss, but knew he wouldn't be able to defeat it with his current equipment. As he was considering his next move, he sensed someone approaching and soon realized that it was Tang Shan. Zhou knew that Tang Shan was there to kill him and hid without leaving any trace. Tang Shan's killing intent was so strong that even his HP bar was filled with it, but Zhou managed to evade him and avoid confrontation. Zhou attacked him from above, but Tang Shan dodged it. Zhou continued to attack with his knife, but he realized he couldn't keep up with Tang Shan's aggressive moves. He then used his skill Dual Slash, which hit Tang Shan's back, but only caused a small amount of damage. Tang Shan started to think about the intel group that had given him false information about Zhou being a martial warrior trainee. Zhou asked him if Yan Boshun had sent him, and Tang Shan charged a powerful ranged attack with his sword. Zhou barely dodged it and used his skill Weak Point Scan, which showed Tang Shan's weak points, but Tang Shan easily avoided the following shot and responded with a charged ranged attack. Zhou avoided it by jumping away. Tang Shan then commented that Zhou didn't understand the physique of someone who was about to reach martial artist rank 6 and their ability to dodge bullets with their eyes closed. Zhou figured out a plan and started shooting at Tang Shan to follow him. He ran towards the edge of a cliff and then jumped, followed by Tang Shan. As they fell, they landed in the middle of a pack of wolves. Zhou used both of his skills to kill the wolves, while Tang Shan got surrounded. All the commotion they made woke up the boss of the wolves. In this passage, Zhou and Tang Shan are being approached by a boss and his pack of wolves. Zhou notices a gap between the wolves at his side and quickly throws 2 grenades to cover his escape, leaving Tang Shan behind. The boss immediately attacks Tang Shan, and Zhou watches the fight between them and the wolves. Eventually, the fight ends and Zhou returns to the location, impressed by the strength of the rank 5 martial artist. He discovers that Tang Shan had killed all of the wolves, including the boss, but had died in the process. Zhou loots Tang Shan's body and takes his crystals, as well as a strange item. However, he then realizes that the boss is not yet dead and proceeds to finish him off as well. Yan Bonshun and Zhou return to their starting point after their hunting competition, each with their hunted corpse. Bonshun reveals that he has hunted a rank 2 sword wild boar, which contained a middle rank white crystal. Adding the value of the star crystal and the sword wild boar's value together, it's equivalent to a higher rank white crystal. Additionally, he had hunted rank 3 forest spiders, which added another 3 white higher rank crystals to his total value. Bonshun's followers cheered for his early win. But Zhou then reveals his hunted corpse, the Shadow Wolf King. Everyone is impressed by the hunted value that Zhou brings, as the rank 4 Shadow Wolf King value is a low rank blue crystal, which is worth 100 higher rank white crystals. The people of the city cheer for Zhou's win, but Bonshun accuses him of cheating, stating that not even a rank 5 martial artist would dare to provoke the Shadow Wolf King. Zhou reveals that it was actually Bonshun who hired a rank 5 martial artist to kill him. Bonyun's dad, which is also his manager, interrupts the conversation, stating that Bonshun is only jealous of Zhou's victory. Zhou's father also interrupts, telling the manager that Zhou was only lucky. Later on, Bonshun's father is seen knocking back his servant, who delivered the mission to Tang Shan. He questions why Zhou is still alive and declares that the assassin organization is just trash. He orders his servant to prepare for Plan B. It is then revealed that Bonshun's father was the one who requested the mission of killing Zhou in order to multiply his profits. Zhou's family is celebrating his victory in the battle, and his father congratulates him on his growth. However, Zhou is still unsure about who hired the killer, Tang Shan. Later that evening, Zhou goes to his room and inspects the strange item he found on Tang Shan's corpse, which he thinks might be a bomb. He accidentally drops it, but it does not react. Soon after, Su-yun enters the room carrying a bag with the battle's bet payment of star crystal. Zhu takes the bag from her and tells her to leave this kind of thing to him, but she insists it's her job as a housekeeper. During a romantic moment, Zhu's father interrupts them, and Su-yun runs away blushing. Zhu's father tells him that he has won the battle, and now people will no longer look down on him. He advises Zhu to start learning about managing the city. Zhu tells him that he doesn't want to be a manager, but wants his help in finding better equipment. Meanwhile, Bone Shun discovers that Zhu is not the one who killed the Shadow Wolf. However, what Bone Shun does not know is that his own father is responsible for the matter. Bone Shun tells his father, who orders him to leave, stating that he knows this will concern his reputation. Bone Shun decides to seek revenge from Zhu. At the same time, Zhu is on the defensive wall killing zombies with his new equipment and reaches level 20. Zhu went on a hunt for a giant zombie outside, using his skill weak point scan and shooting with his bow to its head, only to discover it was an elite zombie when its HP did not drop. The giant zombie noticed him and swung an LED streetlight towards him, but Zhu used his new movement called jump attack on the back of the giant zombie, followed by his skill backstab directly on the back of its neck, severely decreasing the giant zombie's HP bar. As Zhu was fighting the giant elite zombie, a stranger wearing military clothes was sitting on a building nearby. The stranger watched the fight and commented, "The more chaotic it is, the more interesting." After Zhu defeated the zombie, he searched its corpse and found a blue crystal, which he took as loot. Zhu returned to the city on his motorcycle and was surprised to find the guards had not set up a defense due to the city's front poison zombies acting erratically. Upon entering the room where his father was, Zhu saw his uncles, the ones who controlled the city, having a meeting about the large number of poison zombies and large zombies moving towards their city. This brought us back to when Tang Shan said that this was where the real game began. Lao Yu suggested they make the first move. Bone Shun's father supported Lao Yu's suggestion, as they would need to hunt for food in the next half-month. The father made a decision to leave the city with Lao Yu and Lao He, leaving Zhu Li with Bone Shun's father to protect the city. Also, he appointed Zhu as vice leader. During their conversation, Zhu's father told him that he needed to leave the city and that Zhu needed to study how to manage a city. However, Zhu was concerned about the outbreak and he told his father that it wasn't simple and that he should reconsider. Despite Zhu's concerns, his father assured him that he was a rank 5 martial artist and that it wouldn't be dangerous for him. Zhu then made his father promise that he would return safely. After the conversation, Zhu's father took a photo with his wife Wei and son, happy to see that his son had grown up. However, a few days later, while Zhu and Zhu Li were on the defensive wall, the patrol team returned with bad news that something had happened to Zhu's father. Immediately set out with Lan Zai and the patrol team to rescue him. While on the way, Zhu noticed that there were no signs of battling with poison zombie, and when he asked the driver where they were going, the driver's HP bar turned red, indicating that they were in a trap. When they arrived, they were ambushed by Yan Bone Shun and his followers. Lan Zai challenged Yan Bone Shun for his betrayal, but he kicked him. Zhu confronted Yan Bone Shun and learned that the zombie outbreak was caused by them to lure Zhu's father out of the city and kill him in order to change the lord of the city. Enraged, Zhu killed 2 of Yan Bone Shun's followers instantly and the remaining ones in a blink of an eye. Yan Bone Shun tried to shoot at Zhu's back, but he dodged the bullet without looking and approached him while dodging all of his bullets. Yan Bone Shun revealed that Zhu's father had gained full control over the city and if he killed Yan Bone Shun, his father would die. Zhu asked where his father was and Yan Bone Shun responded that they sent him to the east side. While looking in that direction, Yan Bone Shun tried to kill Zhu, but Zhu used his jump attack movement to kill Yan Bone Shun by attacking directly at his head. Lan Zai asked what they should do next, and Zhu responded that he would kill the betrayers and save his dad. In the east side area, Zhu's father was observing the poison zombies when Lao Yu attacked him with a surprise attack from behind. Despite being strong, Zhu's father did not die and asked Lao Yu if he was betraying him. Lao Yu responded that he was not the only one who betrayed him and suddenly appeared with his followers, along with Bone Shun's father. Bone Shun's father shot a spinning shuriken at Zhu's father, but he easily dodged it by jumping into the air. The followers then shot at him with their rifles, but Zhu's father used his sword as a shield to deflect the bullets. Surprisingly, Bone Shun's father teleported behind Zhu's father and hit him with explosive shurikens. Zhu's father became upset and used a charge-powerful attack against Bone Shun's father. In response to the attack, Bone Shun's father attempted to block it, and as a result, he lost his hand. Zhu and Lan Zai were on their way to the area where Zhu's father was. When they arrived, Zhu noticed blank HP bars, indicating that all the guards there had been killed. The two guards who were still there approached Zhu, but he killed them quickly. The father was surrounded by Lao Yu and the others, but he vowed to not die until he had killed them all. In the ensuing fight, he blocked some of Bone Shun's father's shurikens, but one injured his hand, causing him to lose his sword. Lao Yu and Bone Shun's father charged at him while his sword was dropped, and the father took damage from their attack. However, he revealed a hidden blade and managed to hit Bone Shun's father. But Lao Yu did not complete his attack, as he had planned to let Bone Shun's father die so that he could become the leader instead. But Bone Shun's father threatened to destroy the city's food depot if he died, thereby preventing Lao Yu from gaining anything. The father was badly injured, and Lao Yu charged at him with his sword to kill him, but an arrow suddenly blocked the attack, surprising everyone as Zhu had arrived. Zhu then gave his father a game potion to drink, and the father began to recover from his injuries. Zhu then confronted Bone Shun's father and told him that he would send him where he had sent his son. In response, Bone Shun's father threw spinning shurikens at Zhu, but he easily avoided them and followed up with a dual slash that significantly decreased Bone Shun's father's health. Lao Yu then attacked Zhu, but he dodged the attack and followed up with a backstab. Zhu then disappeared into the air and used a jump attack to kill Lao Yu. Zhu Li and his followers were in charge of maintaining safety in the city. Their priority was to protect the people from the outbreak and ensure their entry into the city. Su Yun was concerned for Zhu and his father's safety, and Zhu's father entrusted her with his son's well-being in case something happened to him. He also gave her a key to a helicopter as a last resort. In the midst of all this, Zhu's father charged at Lao Yu while he was distracted by Zhu's fight. However, he killed him by striking him in the heart. Bone Shun's father then threatened Zhu and his father, warning them that if they attacked him, he would press a button to explode the city's food depot, thereby putting everyone's lives at risk. The man in military clothes appeared. He was known as the Dark Shadow's Glory and was hired by Bone Shun's father as a form of assurance. He informed Bone Shun's father that his son was already dead, causing him to immediately press the button to explode the food depot. Zhu managed to prevent the explosion by hitting his hand. The man in military clothes then attacked Zhu, but he was able to deflect the attack. Zhu noticed the man's name, Lu Yongshan, and realized that he was a martial artist of rank 6. Bone Shun's father offered Yongshan 4 times the money to kill them all, but he refused, explaining that he was the only one who could protect him, and taking all of his savings and money won't be a problem. Lan Zai arrived. Zhu's father instructed them to escape while he kept Lu Yongshan busy. Lan Zai attempted to get Yongshan's attention so that Zhu and his father could escape. Yongshan attacked Lan Zai, but Zhu intervened and blocked the attack. During the fight, Zhu managed to hit Yongshan on his shoulder, but he didn't seem to feel the impact. Zhu's father then tried to sneak attack Yongshan, but he dodged the attack and counter-attacked. Lan Zai managed to get to the car and start it up, and Zhu carried his father and jumped into the car. As they made their escape, Zhu threw grenades to distract Yongshan, but he was able to cut them in the air. Despite this, they were able to escape. However, Bone Shun's father still managed to press the button to explode the food depot. Yongshan tried to stop him, but it was too late as the button had already been pressed. The food depot in the city exploded, and Zhu Li's follower delivered the news to him. Meanwhile, the zombie hordes had already made their way through the city. Zhu Li and his followers fought back fiercely, using all their skills and resources to hold off the zombie horde. However, more and more zombies kept coming, and the survivors began to tire. Zhu Li, who was on the verge of dying, was joined by Zhu and others after the citizens had retreated into the city. While on the defensive wall, Zhu Li informed them that the food depot had been bombed and many martial artists were injured or dead. The father realized that the city could not be evacuated without food. When Su Yun brought them water, Zhu drank his cup and lost consciousness. The father understood the gravity of the situation and asked Su Yun and Lan Zai to take care of his son in his place. Moments later, Zhu regained consciousness on a helicopter, and Lan Zai informed him that his father had stayed behind in the city. The father and Zhu Li were standing on the defensive wall when they encountered a zombie that was infected by fire. The followers burned the zombies, but the infected zombie posed a threat. The father stood up with his aura and attacked the infected zombie, sacrificing himself as the lord of the city. The father believed in Zhou and thought that he would become the brightest star in the world, even though he had been locked down by others before. Zhu Li stated that it was his job as a protection leader to protect the city, and he couldn't leave the father alone. Ultimately, the father sacrificed himself to protect the city and its citizens. In the current scene, Zhu, Su Yun, and Lan Zai are in a chopper. Zhu is still mourning the loss of his father and the people of the city, feeling that they didn't deserve to die. He also regrets not discovering Yan Bonshun's father's plan earlier. Su Yun tries to comfort him, telling him that it's not his fault and that no one can predict their fate. She encourages him to live on their behalf as well. Suddenly, their chopper is attacked by winged beasts. Lan Zai is willing to chase them away, but Zhu interferes, ordering him to stay and protect Su Yun. Zhu jumps out of the chopper and performs a jump attack directly on the back of the winged beast. The other winged beasts attack him, but he manages to avoid their attacks. Suddenly, they hear a loud sound, and a giant dragon appears in front of them. The dragon roars and then flies away. Lan Zai sees a town in front of them, and they head in that direction. Lan Zai bought a map from a wandering martial artist, and he and Zhu study it, discovering the town they're headed to is called Titan. Su Yun informs them that the helicopter's tail was damaged in the earlier battle, and they might have to land soon. They end up landing in a forest, and Zhu notes that they should be able to reach Titan before dark. As they walk through the forest, Su Yun gets scared when something appears, but it turns out to be a giant hamster, and Zhu tells her not to be scared as these monsters won't attack if they're left alone. They eventually reach the road, and a car approaches them. Lan Zai draws his sword, and Zhu summons his bow, ready to fight. However, a man in the back of the car had bad intentions when he saw Su Yun. Zhu shot 3 arrows in front of the man, and they hit the snakes behind the car with precision. The driver noticed Zhu's accurate shooting, and the man in the back of the car wanted to start a fight. The driver stopped him and told him not to cause trouble. Su Yun apologized for causing the trouble, but Zhu reassured her that being born pretty was not her fault. Su Yun covered her face with dirt to draw less attention. They've finally arrived at the outskirts of Titan City and were approached by an old man, offering them a ride on his deer horse for a cheaper price. The old man began calculating the cost and realized that he could scam them since they were new to the city. As he was doing so, a group of men also surrounded them and tried to scam them. When the old man realized that he wouldn't make much money, he decided to charge them only 1 low-rank white crystal for the ride, even though there were 3 of them. Along the way, Zhu asked the old man if he captured the deer horse, but he replied that it was caught by a tamer who is a martial artist that specializes in taming mutated beasts for battles or selling them. Upon arriving at the entrance of the city, they had to pay 1 star coin to enter, and Su Yun bought a map to navigate their way around. They were in Area 5, which belonged to the outer city. They searched for an inn, but didn't find a comfortable one until Su Yun found a good one on her map. They went straight to the inn, where they were greeted by a beautiful woman who showed them inside. Each night at the inn costs 2 low-rank white crystals, and Zhu paid for their stay as they had no other option. While resting, Su Yun came to Zhu and informed him that with their current money, they could only afford to stay in the hotel for 1 week. Zhu and Lan Zai went outside and realized that the people there are all high martial artists. Zhu commented that it was expected as the city's rank represents its authority. Zhu started thinking about what Su Yun told him about the money left, but he still has more than 1,700 white crystals and a few blue crystals. Surprisingly, a girl grabbed Lan Zai's hand and offered to help them with any information they need for a fee. Zhu responded by saying that a rank 3 martial artist has dropped to that state selling information. The girl told him to blame the Titan City for that and whispered a reliable source of information for 5-star coins in his ear. She also offered to give him a map of the surrounding monster distribution for 1 white crystal. Zhu accepted both offers. Zhu and Lan Zai then reached the Martial Artist Association, where they filled a form about their personal information and rank. The girl responsible there told them to place their hand on the testing device to confirm what they filled in the form. Zhu was confirmed to be a martial artist apprentice, while Lan Zai was confirmed to be a rank 2 martial artist. The girl looked down on Zhu and also informed him that he would have to pay a membership fee every 3 months to maintain his status as a member of the association. They then started choosing their missions, and Zhu told Lan Zai that their ranks are different, so he doesn't need to pick the same mission as him. However, Lan Zai insisted on protecting him, and Zhu gave him a low blue crystal to cultivate and high expectations of him. Zhu also told him to keep his money a secret about Su Yun. The next morning Zhu headed to the location where his mission was taking place. Upon arrival, he noticed that the area was infested with a group of mutated jackals. One of the jackals spotted Zhu, and he quickly reacted by killing it. He gained 1600 EXP points as a reward for the kill. Zhu then used his skill, Weak Point Scan, to detect the weaknesses of the remaining jackals and swiftly defeated them. However, during the battle, Zhu had been using arrows as his primary weapon, and they were now damaged and no longer usable. Another pack of jackals appeared, and Zhu saw this as an opportunity to train his close combat skills and gain more EXP. Zhu was attacked by a jackal, but he was able to dodge its second attack. He then challenged the jackals to help him train his body. He defeated multiple jackals, and when he had enough training, he killed the last jackal with multiple slashes. He found 2 blue crystals on their corpses. Zhu realized that if he wanted to become stronger, he shouldn't only rely on rogue skills, but also star power, so he decided to research and explore it. Afterwards, he returned the motorcycle he used to reach the jackal's area to its owner and went home. He asked Lan Zai if he made any progress since he gave him the blue crystal, and Lan Zai responded happily that he was close to reaching rank 3 martial artist. Su Yun seemed upset that they were lacking money, and Zhu had given the blue crystal to Lan Zai, but Zhu showed her the loot from the jackal's corpses, which included 2 blue crystals. For the next week, Zhu continued to go to the jackal's area and earned 20 blue crystals. However, despite spending a week there, his combat ability didn't improve much. He then started thinking of finding a new place to train. While drinking his healing potion, he noticed a shining mushroom and remembered the information he bought from a girl who told him to collect rare or unknown plants or vegetation. He collected the mutated mushrooms filled with star power. Zhu returned the motorcycle to its owner in the evening and went to a market where he found a limited edition Chanel perfume being sold for 1 high-rank white crystal. A big fellow was being encouraged to buy it for his lover, but it turned out the big fellow was a girl. Zhu liked the perfume and bought one, thinking that Su Yun would like it. Then Zhu went to a clear area and summoned jackal skins from a portal that he had hunted. One of the skins was damaged and cost 1 low-rank white crystal, while the other was in perfect condition and cost 1 medium-rank crystal. A man passing by asked if the skins could be cheaper, but Zhu politely declined. The man introduces himself as Chang Zhan, a rank 6 martial artist, and buys the skins for their good quality. Chang gives Zhu his information card and invites him to visit his equipment store. Another leader and his follower express interest in buying the skins, but they were already sold. The follower tells his leader that the skins could increase their mission's success rate against iron armor, but the leader thinks that it won't make a difference. Zhu overhears their conversation and realizes that he knows the weakness of the iron armor. With this knowledge, he proposes to make a trade with them. The follower accused him of lying, but Zhu confidently stated that many rank 7 martial artists cannot deal with the iron armor's defense. As well as when they attack they will curl up their body and use it as defense. He also revealed that the leader's group had only accepted the mission because it was a rank 4 monster, but it turned out to be more difficult than they expected. The leader became angry and asked why they should believe Zhu, but Zhu clarified that he never forced them to believe him. Zhu sets a price of 1 low-rank blue crystal for the information, and the leader agrees to it. Zhu also mentions that he saw their mission while selecting his own, and that they would earn 5 low-rank blue crystals as a reward for their mission. Even if they break the contract, they would only lose 30% of their reward, so buying Zhu's information would still earn them 4 blue crystals. The leader introduces himself as Xiao Heng, the Warhammer group leader, and shakes hands with Zhu. The following day Zhu, Su Yun, and Lan Zai were discussing the idea of moving to a better place to rent. Zhu had already tasked Su Yun with looking for better places, and he chose the expensive one among the options she found. Lan Zai and Su Yun informed Zhu that the place he chose was in the outer city's Area 1, which is considered the noble area. When they arrived at the place, the man in charge informed them that he had already given the key to Zhu's wife, Sun Yun, which caused some confusion as Su Yun clarified the man's misunderstanding. Zhu then gave Su Yun a perfume he had bought from the market, while Lan Zai carried the luggage. Zhu went to the market to buy new arrows, where he encountered the man and his follower who had driven their car previously. The follower had bad intentions towards Su Yun and confessed to the boss that he was in love with her. The boss allowed him to pursue her after they finished their task, but warned him not to act recklessly. Zhu pretended not to hear or see the conversation and left the market. Later, Zhu went to the jackal's area to find the entrance blocked by guards. They told him that it was he gang's territory and that he should leave if he did not want to die. Zhu refused to leave, and the guards approached him willing to kill him since he was only an apprentice martial artist. Zhu then told them that they were the ones seeking death. Meanwhile, in the jackal's area, the guard's boss was standing there with an old man. The boss asked the old man if he was certain he had seen 7 color mushrooms there. The mushrooms were already taken by Zhu when he was training there. It appeared that the old man was in debt with the boss, and the deal was that if the boss found the mushrooms, the old man's debt would be fully paid. The old man showed a relieved face, and he stated that being a rank 4 martial artist was nothing in front of boss Song. Song, the boss, got a call from a guard telling him that someone had killed 3 rank 5 martial artist guards who were guarding the entrance of the area. Song then ordered his men to split into 2 teams, one to search for the killer and the other to search for the mushrooms. The search team was looking for the murderer while Zhu was hiding behind a rock. He noticed the gang's leader and decided to kill him, but realized that the leader was a rank 7 martial artist, which meant that even with his fast speed, he wouldn't be able to outrun him. Zhu charged toward the ground and disappeared instantly into the forest. While drinking water, he saw skeleton parts around the area and discovered a spider nest. The spider attacked Zhu, but he dodged it by jumping to the back. However, the spider continued its attack, and Zhu jumped into the air and attacked with arrows, but they didn't affect the spider due to its unbreakable armor. The spider spit on him with deadly acid, but he was able to dodge all of its spits. Zhu then realized how fast the spider was while hiding behind a tree, and the spider found him and attacked him again. Zhu jumped into the air, but this time, the spider's spit hit him, causing him to lose an amount of blood. As Zhu lay on the ground, the spider jumped at him to eat him. Zhu summoned his knife, and a strange blue aura appeared with it, attacking the spider. This time, his attack broke the spider's armor. Zhu realized that it was star power, and with that became a martial artist rank 1. Now, Zhu won't be the same trash as before because he can cultivate. Zhu continued his journey through the forest after encountering a spider until he found a road. He was lucky enough to flag down a passing car and asked the driver for a ride. Although the driver initially refused, the boss of the car intervened and allowed Zhu to hop in. During the ride, a young man offered him a cigarette, but Zhu declined, stating that he was only visiting Titan City for a short while. He asked the man which group he belonged to, and the man replied that he was from the flower pattern. Zhu then inquired about where he could train his star power, and the man directed him to the Area 3 Martial Artist Training Center, warning that it was expensive. Upon arrival in the outer city, Zhu thanked his benefactors and promised to return the favor. He then returned home, where Lan Zai greeted him and thanked him for the blue crystal that helped him become a rank 1 star martial artist. Zhu also revealed that he had become a rank 1 martial artist as well. Su Yun also was happy for him too, and they celebrated their successes. The following day, Zhu and Lan Zai went to the training center. It was expensive, but Zhu was able to afford it by selling the silk from the ghost face spider he had killed earlier. A girl showed them around the center and explained the rules, including signing a life and death contract before entering the training rooms. Zhu asked her to open a rank 3 room for Lan Zai, which required 1 blue crystal as a fee. After Lan Zai began training, Zhu requested the girl to open a rank 5 room for him. The girl was hesitant and asked Zhu if he meant a rank 5 training room, to which Zhu quickly confirmed. She then cautioned him that the training was not virtual, but real combat with ferocious monsters. Zhu insisted that he was aware of the risks and selected a rank 6 mutated black gorilla as his opponent. The people in the training area began to wonder if Zhu was seeking death by selecting such a formidable opponent, especially since he was only a rank 1 martial artist. Before entering the room, a group of men arrived and began to bully him, but Zhu insulted them and challenged them to join him in the room. The men were afraid and Zhu entered the room alone without any fear. The leader Luo and his group of martial artists were discussing about Zhu being rank 1 martial artist, but still he entered the room fighting with rank 6 mutated gorilla. One of Luo's followers warned him not to get angry because Zhu was going to die in the fight, but Luo didn't care and said that if Zhu survived, he would make him pay. Zhu commented that whether or not he would become a rank 2 martial artist depended on the outcome of the fight with the gorilla. As Zhu fought the gorilla, Luo and his followers, along with other martial artists, watched from outside the room. Luo instructed a girl responsible for cleaning the training facility to prepare to clean up Zhu's corpse. However, as they heard crashing sounds coming from inside the room, Luo speculated that Zhu's bones might already be crushed, so the girl didn't need to clean up after all. He even offered her a green crystal in exchange for a video of Zhu being crushed by the gorilla, but she refused, citing their policy of not exposing the private training of customers. The crashes from inside the room increased, indicating that the fight was escalating. After 30 minutes, Zhu had still not emerged from the room, and Luo became impatient. He slapped one of his followers to see if he was dreaming and wondered how a rank 1 martial artist could survive against a rank 6 mutated monster for so long. Eventually, Zhu emerged from the room, completely exhausted, but having managed to deplete half and quarter of the gorilla's HP bar. Despite being exhausted, Zhu managed to jump and dodge the gorilla's punch attack. He then used a new move called deepening, which allowed him to break through and become a rank 2 martial artist. Zhu managed to avoid the gorilla's second attack and used his skill backstab to finish it off. By killing the gorilla, Zhu earned 7200 EXP. One of Luo's followers had been listening at the door and reported that there was no sound or movement coming from the room, assuming that Zhu was dead. However, Zhu suddenly opened the door and instructed the man to send someone to clean the room. Everyone was impressed that a rank 1 martial artist had managed to defeat a rank 6 monster. Zhu then went to the girl responsible for the training facility and demanded to fight a rank 6 mutated viper this time. People started betting on whether or not he would survive, but Zhu entered the room with a confident and badass expression on his face. The scene shifts to the owner of the training area, Jiang Cheng, who is a rank 7 martial artist. He is impressed by Zhou Zheng's data and asks his servant if he is sure that Zhu is only a rank 2 martial artist. The servant confirms this and tells Jiang that Zhu was only a rank 1 before he challenged the mutated gorilla. Jiang tells the servant to activate the training room's surveillance video and broadcast Zhu's training on the screen in the lobby. The servant comments that they need Zhu's permission, but Jiang tells him to do it anyway and says that whether Zhu successfully finishes the challenge against a viper or not, this promotion will let them earn a lot. They start streaming in the lobby and the fight between Zhu and the viper begins. Zhu is in the middle of the viper's poison fog and his HP bar starts to decrease. He summons the game's poison cure potion and drinks it, and his HP bar immediately goes back to full, and it seems that the poison has no effect on him anymore. He then starts striking the viper with rapid speed, and the people who are watching are impressed by his speed. The live stream goes down as Zhu destroys the camera inside the room, but he manages to kill the viper and reach rank 3 martial artist. Zhu then leaves the room to be approached by Jiang's servant, who informs him that Jiang wants to meet him. Zhu also tells him that he wants to meet with Jiang. Zhu arrives at Jiang's bureau and demands an explanation about the live stream. Jiang responds by presenting him with blue and green crystals, along with a yellow card, which will allow Zhu to spend 20% less in his upcoming trainings. As Zhu is leaving, he tells them not to leak his information. Jiang then asks him a personal question about how he managed to kill the rank 6 viper. Zhu responds with a mad face, asking why they have a liking to dig into people's privacy. Jiang apologizes and proposes that Zhu join the Beast King Union and guarantees that within 1 year, he will reach rank 6 martial artist. Zhu tells him that he is not interested and leaves the room. In the present setting, Zhu visited Chang's store, the same person who had previously purchased jackal skins from him. Chang appeared perplexed by Zhu's rapid ascension to a rank 3 martial artist within a short time. Zhu responded that he simply worked harder than others. He then promptly requested to buy equipment from Chang. Chang agreed to sell him the equipment and even offered to give him some items for free after he made a purchase. Zhu traded the blue light spider silk that he had looted from the ghost face spider for the equipment. Chang was overjoyed upon seeing the silk and acknowledged that it was an exceptional material for crafting equipment, which could only be obtained by killing a rank 6 demon face spider. Chang then expressed his astonishment at how Zhu had obtained it at his current rank. Despite having limited capital, Chang was only able to purchase 11 meters of the silk and offered 15 green crystals in exchange. Zhu accepted the offer, and Chang was thrilled to have obtained such good quality material. He promised to craft a free weapon for Zhu as a gesture of gratitude. They proceeded to Chang's weapons factory, where Zhu expressed his surprise at the old-fashioned method of crafting weapons they used. Chang explained that machine-crafted weapons were primarily used by ordinary people, whereas martial artists' weapons were all about conductivity. Zhu then elucidated that conductivity referred to weapons that could have star power inserted into them to enhance their combat effectiveness. Chang informed him that the weapon he would create using the blue light spider silk would have at least 13% conductivity. He also mentioned that he might be able to break the Ningxai weapon to obtain a 15% conductivity legend. Chang began bladesmithing after making his statements, and he finished crafting a dagger. He handed it to Zhu to insert his star power into it. Zhu selected the dagger and began to insert his star power, and Chang noticed a pressure of his aura. Even if Zhu told him he was a rank 8 or 9 martial artist, Chang stated that he would still believe him. After Zhu finished inserting his star power, he was able to obtain a 20% conductivity dagger, which was worth at least one medium-rank purple crystal. Chang appeared to regret his decision after seeing what had occurred. Zhu thanked Chang and left the store. Chang bid him farewell, cautioning him to leave before he changed his mind. Chang then went back to his store, commenting on the fact that he had created a dagger with 20% conductivity and could do it again. Zhu was strolling down the street when he came across Luo and his followers. One of the followers informed Luo that they couldn't handle Zhu since he had defeated the mutated gorilla, but Luo smacked him and referred to him as a weakling who relied on cheap tricks. Another follower informed Luo that Zhu was no longer a rank 1 martial artist but had been promoted to rank 3. Luo kicked him and expressed that he was already aware of it. Zhu, on the other hand, was purchasing flowers from a young girl when Luo and his entourage approached him. Zhu feigned ignorance, but Luo instructed his followers to break his legs. Zhu quickly retaliated by kicking one and punching the other. The force of his kick shattered the marble structure and it collapsed on the little girl, endangering her life. In an instant, Zhu sprang into action and saved the little girl. He swiftly kicked Luo towards the falling marble structure. Luo, surprised and angry, questioned Zhu's audacity to attack him and reminded him of the power of his family. He demanded Zhu to plead for mercy or else face the wrath of the Luo family. Zhu was outraged and, without hesitation, teleported onto Luo's back and delivered a powerful kick that shattered it. He proclaimed his disdain for being threatened by anyone. Though Luo begged for forgiveness and apologized, Zhu turned his back on Luo, stating that the strong survive and the weak perish in this world. He declared that he would not mind using the Luo family as a stepping stone to climb the ladder of success. Following the accident, Luo's father immediately summoned a doctor to attend to his son's injuries. Unfortunately, the doctor reported that despite their best efforts, Luo's bone had been severely fractured, and even if he recovered, there would be lasting side effects. Hearing this news, Luo's father asked the doctor if this would impact his son's ability to become stronger. The doctor responded in the affirmative, and Luo was left crying as he blamed Zhu for the entire ordeal. In response, Luo's father ordered his servant to launch an investigation into Zhu's background and origin, with the intent of seeking revenge. At the Titan City market the following day, Zhu was strolling when he unexpectedly bumped into Xiao Heng, the leader of the Warhammer group. Previously, Zhu had sold him information about the weaknesses of the iron armor. Xiao informed Zhu that they had successfully completed their mission thanks to his information, and then he introduced Zhu to his group. Zhu requested that they change the way they referred to him, since they were calling him expert. Later, Xiao inquired if Zhu wanted to join them in their next objective, which was in the Wei City area where Zhu originated. Zhu replied that he would join them if there was payment involved. Following that, Zhu and the Warhammer group made their way to the Central Plaza to recruit veteran fighters with a rank of at least 5. Zhu compared the situation to a dungeon raid in the game. The reward for the mission was one medium-rank blue crystal. They were approached by Zhang Xun, a rank 6 martial artist who could fight with a bow and spear. Zhang agreed to join them if they offered him one more crystal, but Xiao suggested they distribute it by work labor. Zhang was hesitant since they weren't sure if they would earn anything from this mission. Meanwhile, Zhu took out his new bow from his inventory, which he had recrafted to have 11 conductivity with the help of Chang. He did this to prevent anyone from seeing his game inventory. After the negotiation, Zhang hopped onto the back of the car and showed Zhu his bow, 100 blades, which was a high-quality product with 5% conductivity. One member of the group called Zhu an expert and suggested he sit inside the car because of the strong winds, but Zhu declined, saying it was fine and the wind was cooling. Zhang stated that if he qualifies as an expert, then what would be a more fitting term for him? Perhaps an elite expert. Before heading to Wei City, they made a pit stop in Chaoyang City to gather supplies and food. Zhu had a reputation in the area, and the locals knew him as crazy instead of expert. Despite this, one of the locals gifted Zhou with an heirloom medicine that he wouldn't be using. Zhang couldn't understand why they were so impressed with a mere rank 3 martial artist and attempted to show off his skills, but only Zhou seemed to take notice. As they continued on their journey, Joy smelled the medicine and commented on its pleasant scent. Although it may not be as effective as an HP potion, it could still be useful in critical situations. Upon reaching Wei City's outer building area, they encountered another group scavenging for loot. Xiao warned them to be careful of the other group, but they soon faced a more immediate threat when a zombie attacked. Zhang took it down with his bow, impressing Zhou with his marksmanship. One of the scavenging group informed them that they needed to reach the business street within 5 minutes before more poison zombies arrived. Zhou offered Zhang 2 blue crystals if he was willing to work hard for them. Zhang took up the challenge and proved his worth by killing multiple zombies with his spear. Upon reaching the business street, they faced multiple level 30 poison zombies. Zhang tried to take one down with his bow, but it proved ineffective. Zhou took charge and jumped into action, impressing everyone with his speed and strength. Zhang questioned whether Zhou was truly an expert or just seeking death, but Zhou didn't seem to care and continued to take down the zombies. With lightning speed, Zhou shot all of his remaining arrows while in mid-air and successfully killed all the poison zombies. He gained multiple experience points from the zombies, but then realized that he had run out of arrows. Zhou quickly pulled an arrow out of a zombie's head and used it to kill the last remaining zombie. Zhou mentioned that he was close to reaching level 30 and that when he does, he would learn a specific skill. After killing all the zombies, Zhou asked the group to collect his arrows for him. The group was thrilled to have someone as strong as Zhou with them. Xiao then announced that their next destination was the shopping street. He asked 2 people from the group to drive the cars there to attract the poison zombies. Zhou and Zhang were then tasked to deal with the zombies. As the sound of the cars attracted the zombies, Zhou kept his bow with one of the group members and summoned his dagger. He dueled with Zhang to kill the zombies. Zhou had a head start and killed numerous zombies with his lightning-fast speed. He commented to himself about how amazing the combination of the rogue system and martial arts was. Zhang, on the other hand, was shocked by Zhou's weapon, which had such high conductivity. Although he thought of stealing Zhou's weapon, he realized that he was not the kind of person to resort to dirty tricks. After calming himself down, he charged with his spear and killed the remaining zombies. After all the zombies had been killed, Zhou mentioned that he only needed one more level to reach level 30 and learn the skill he had been waiting for. As they made their way through the shopping street area, they encountered another group of zombies. But this time, there was a giant and aggressive poison zombie with them. The giant zombie's aura was overwhelming, and it threw a car at them. Zhou quickly jumped out of the car and told the others to leave, saying that they would only be a burden to him. Zhang, who had underestimated Zhou's combat abilities before, now trusted him and urged the group to leave. The group's leader, Xiao, agreed to wait for Zhou on the road. As they made their escape, the giant zombie was willing to smash the ground. However, Zhou quickly interfered by dropping the giant zombie to the ground. Zhou then used his skill, Weak Point Scan, to detect the giant zombie's weak spots. Zhou dodged the giant zombie's next attack and used his movement to kill it. 10 minutes later, the group was waiting for Zhou on the road, wondering why he had not returned yet. Zhang reassured them that they did not have to worry because Zhou was a skilled combatant and would not die. Just then, Zhou arrived and handed over the loot he had acquired from the zombie's corpse. Since they were a team, the group's leader, Xiao, and his people acknowledged Zhou's gesture, as well as Zhang. Suddenly the other group arrived at the scene and complimented the loot they had. However, it was apparent that their intentions were to steal it. Zhou, who was already tired from the previous fight, was reluctant to engage in another battle. But Zhang stood up with a fierce aura that scared the would-be thieves, causing them to run away in fear. 3 days later, Zhou reached level 30 by hunting more mutated monsters in the forest. He unlocked 2 new skills, Swift, which allows him to increase his speed by 50%, and Flash, which allows him to teleport instantly to the locked target's back or side. While Zhou hunting in the forest, Luo and his followers were at Zhu's house, stating he will let him pay. As Zhou finished hunting down the last monster, he caught sight of an unusual green aura in his peripheral vision. Curious, he followed the aura's trail until he stumbled upon a rank 7 martial artist engaged in a heated battle with a group of mutated monkeys. The martial artist was struggling to fend off the monkeys, so Zhou decided to lend a hand by firing an arrow at one of the creatures. Impressed with Zhu's skills, the martial artist asked for his help and promised him benefits in return. Without hesitation, Zhu shot 3 more arrows and then unsheathed his dagger, offering to take care of 2 of the monkeys while the martial artist dealt with the remaining one. After they had vanquished the beasts, the martial artist explained the benefits he had promised to Zhu. When Zhu expressed his lack of fear of the martial artist despite his lower rank, the martial artist sensed a dangerous aura emanating from him and gave him some monkey wine as a reward. The martial artist revealed that he had spent the past week luring the Monkey King and his minions and invited Zhu to join him on a guild mission in the coming days. Zhu agreed to accompany him. On his way home, Luo and his followers broke into his house. Suyun attempted to intervene, but Luo ordered his men to capture her. Lan Zai arrived and demanded that they release her, but Luo instructed his followers to harm him instead. When Zhu arrived, he heard the commotion and saw Lan Zai lying on the ground, coughing up blood. He quickly took him to the hospital, where he underwent surgery. After the surgery, the doctor informed Zhu that Lan Zai's life was no longer in danger, but he may have sustained permanent limb damage. Zhu realized that the people involved were connected to the Luo family. Consumed by anger, he snuck into the Luo family's residence with a poison bottle in hand, preparing to confront them while Luo was interrogating Suyun. Luo commanded his follower to leave the room and, without warning, threw a bucket of water at Suyun. He then made a rude comment about the lack of attractive women in Titan City. In a rage, he picked up his dagger but was unable to reach her due to his disabled state. He summoned his servant to tie her up, promising not to disfigure her if she became his lover. Suyun spat in his face, causing Luo to fly into a murderous frenzy. Suddenly, blood sprayed through the air as Zhu appeared, slicing Luo's neck with his dagger and declaring him dead. Suyun was overjoyed to see Zhu and hugged him tightly as he untied her. He instructed her to wait quietly by a nearby tree while he dealt with Luo's father. Suyun pleaded with him not to go, but Zhu reminded her that he had already killed Luo's son and that the conflict would not end until justice was served. Zhu crept up on Luo's father and his servant, but they were able to sense his presence. The father commented on Zhu's impressive stealth abilities but dismissed him as too low-ranking to be a real threat. Luo's father, Luo Guohai, had an unknown rank within the system. Zhu was unable to detect the ranks of those higher than himself. Guohai had a servant named Bing, who was a rank 6 martial artist. Prior to Zhu's arrival, he went to the guild to obtain information about Guohai. It was then discovered that Guohai was actually a rank 8 martial artist. Seated in his bureau, Guohai commanded his servant Bing to eliminate Zhu. Bing moved towards Zhu, who managed to evade his attack and retaliated with a backstab. Surprisingly, Bing did not seem to feel the impact of the attack. However, Bing soon realized that something was amiss. Zhu revealed that his system skill had been forcefully damaged, rendering Bing's thick skin useless. Despite this, Bing continued to attack Zhu. In response, Zhu did not retaliate, and Bing eventually succumbed to his injuries and died. Guohai rose to his feet, his aura pulsing with fury. Everyone in the residence could feel the intensity of his anger, causing them to snap into a state of alertness. Guohai announced that there were at least 30 martial artists of rank 4 or higher on their way to the room where they were located. 2 of the martial artists had arrived, informing Guohai that something terrible had happened to his son. When he inquired further, Zhu revealed that he had killed Guohai's son on his way there. Guohai was taken aback by the news of his son's death. In that moment of vulnerability, Zhu took advantage of the situation, using his new skill, Flash, to teleport instantly beside Guohai and stab him with a dagger. However, Zhu soon realized that the stab did not have a significant effect on Guohai since he was a rank 8 martial artist. Guohai retaliated with a powerful strike, but Zhu was able to dodge it. Guohai then unleashed a series of cutting slashes, but Zhu deftly avoided them while keeping track of the cooldown of his flash skill. Once the cooldown ended, Zhu used it again to disappear and stab Guohai for a second time. In the ensuing scuffle, Guohai landed a counterattack on Zhu, but Zhu remained confident. He summoned a health potion and told Guohai that he had already lost the moment he was stabbed with the poison dagger. The dagger had been coated with venom from the ghost face spider that Zhu had killed previously. Zhu left Guohai to suffer from the poison as he escaped with Suyun. However, Zhu was exhausted and injured from the fight, and even the health potion could not fully restore his strength. He eventually lost consciousness. As they made their escape, the martial artists from the Lu family were hot on their trail. Su-yun picked up Zhu and declared that this time, she would be the one to protect him. Guo Hai's death was caused by poison, and his body was being investigated by the Titan Guard team. One of the guards mentioned the appearance of someone amazing in Titan City. Su-yun took Zhu into a cave while he was bleeding. Su-yun wanted to find herbs to stop the bleeding, but Zhu already had medicine and bandages. He gave Su-yun the medicine he received from a local in Chaoyang City, which she used to treat his wound. Zhu felt less pain and rested, waking up the next morning with a fully healed wound, sleeping on Su-yun's lap. She was grateful and thanked him. However, she was hungry, so Zhu took Su-yun to Zhao City for breakfast. There, they overheard locals discussing the investigation of the Luo family incident by the Titan Guard team. Later, at the Titan Guard Bureau, it was discovered that Zhu was connected to the incident. They went to visit Lan Zai, who was sad about being weak and crippled. Zhu encouraged him and promised to find a cure. When the Titan Guard team arrived at the hospital to question Zhu, they concluded that Guo Hai had accidentally consumed a poisonous plant and died. They left and decided to write a report on the incident. Zhu went back to Chang's store and presented him with the rank 6 viper's skin that he had acquired. Chang expressed his gratitude and acknowledged that the skin had helped him resolve a big problem. In return, Chang ordered his follower to bring the highest weapon available at his market as a gift for Zhu. However, Zhu declined the gift and instead asked if Chang knew who the best doctor in Titan City was. Chang initially thought that Zhu was injured, but Zhu clarified that it was for his friend whose limbs had been broken. Chang was outraged at the news and asked who had dared to harm his brother's people, vowing to teach them a lesson. Zhu thanked Chang for his concern, but informed him that he had already taken care of the situation. Chang then revealed that the best doctor in Titan City was the Medicine King and suggested that they go to his hospital. However, upon arriving, they found that there were many people already waiting for his services. The Medicine King's disciple, surnamed Wang, they approached him and he asked them if they had any problems. Zhu requested to meet with the Medicine King himself, but Wang informed him that getting his help would require finding the rare herbs that he needed. The herbs grew in areas inhabited by mutated monsters of rank 5 or above, and as a rank 3 martial artist, Zhu would not be able to find them. Chang suggested that they go to another famous doctor, but Zhu insisted on strolling around and told Chang that he didn't need to accompany him. Chang respected Zhu's decision and shook hands with him, telling him to look for him if he needed anything. Zhu then went to the outside of the hospital's backyard and ran towards the wall, landing inside the backyard with a jump. There he found the Medicine King himself, Fan Tai, a rank 8 martial artist. Zhu explained the situation with his friend Lan Zai, and Fan Tai agreed to help if Zhu could bring him 2 skeleton herbs. Zhu then went to the Martial Artist Association to find information on the herbs and learned that they could be found in the Poison Fog Valley for the price of 1 low-rank purple crystal. Zhu arrived at the Poison Fog Forest and immediately drank his healing potion to prevent the poisonous air from affecting him. As he made his way through the forest, 2 men wearing gas masks were surprised to see him going through unprotected. The forest was infested with monsters, providing Zhu with a great opportunity to gain experience points. However, he was only there to gather herbs. While in the forest, he overheard someone talking about a rank 6 venomous snake. Following the voice, Zhu found a cave. Inside, he saw only 1 HP bar, and the skeleton herbs he needed were there too. However, a venomous snake with multiple heads was guarding them. Zhu tried to distract the snake by tossing a rock, but the plan failed. The snake prevented him from grabbing the herbs. Zhu dodged all of the snake's attacks, summoned his bow, and began fighting. After 3 hours, Zhu was finally able to defeat the snake. He summoned his dagger to finish it off and reached level 33. From each snake's head, he looted a green crystal before finally grabbing the skeleton herbs. Outside the cave, a group of people were fighting the mutated Viper King, which had evolved from rank 6 to rank 7 as the battle raged on. Zhu heard the commotion and went to investigate. By the time he arrived, the Viper King was nearly defeated thanks to the efforts of the gas-masked fighters. Zhu used his flash skill to steal the Viper King from the other fighters. Afterwards, Zhu went to Fan Tai's place to deliver the skeleton herbs he had requested. Fan Tai fulfilled his promise and went with Zhu to the hospital to heal Lan Zai's comminuted fracture. Once Lan Zai was healed, he apologized to Zhu for causing trouble, but Zhu reminded him that it was his obligation to save a family member. While at the hospital, Zhu received a call from Zhang Xiaokai via the communication device provided by the Martial Artist Guild. Zhang had previously been saved by Zhu while hunting in the forest and now invited him to a guild mission. Zhu agreed to go but was warned by Zhang that the mission was extremely dangerous and he should consider it carefully. Zhu headed to Chang's store and purchased 100 shurikens and some normal daggers. Meanwhile, over at the Nine Rings Star Crown Hotel, Zhang and his team, including Zhan Hu, Lu Qianjun, a man in a purple suit, and Lu Chuancheng, all rank 8 martial artists, awaited Zhu's arrival. When Zhu arrived, he introduced himself to the team. Zhan Hu attempted to shake hands with Zhu, but Zhu appeared to ignore him. Zhan Hu asked Zhu if he was looking down on him, to which Zhu responded that he was afraid his bones might crack if he shook his hand. Zhang then led them to his room to plan their next move. Upon arriving in the room, Zhang reminded the team of the high risk and high reward of their mission and offered them the chance to back out. However, none of the martial artists seemed interested in backing out. Zhang then explained that each team member would receive a 10% cut of the reward, with the remaining 40% to be distributed based on their contributions. Zhan Hu believed that it was unfair for Zhu to receive the same percentage as them, since he was a low martial artist. The man in the purple suit suggested that each member receive a fixed 5% cut, with the remaining 70% distributed according to contributions. Zhu and the other team members agreed to this plan. Zhang surprised his team by giving them a gift. The chance to visit the martial artist's mall and select an equipment piece that was no higher than medium-rank green crystal. Zhu was unfamiliar with the mall, so the man in the purple suit explained that it was an affiliate established network mall by the Martial Artist Guild and Titan Guard team. However, only rank 7 and above martial artists were allowed to enter, so Zhu was not qualified. Zhang informed him that the hotel's computer was qualified and Zhu used it to browse through the available weapons. While searching through the weapons, Zhu's attention was caught by the elf bow with a conduction rate of 30%. However, the price was too high at 2 high-rank purple crystals. Even if Zhu sold everything he had, he would not be able to afford it. Zhu then decided to buy the Demon Shadow Mountain Cat boots instead. Zhu commented that the experience was similar to online treasure shopping, but the items were more expensive at the martial artist's mall. After the goods were delivered to their room, Zhu tested the Demon Shadow Mountain Cat boots and commented on how different they felt. While on their way, Zhan asked Zhang to stop the car for a moment. They wanted to test Zhu's strength by having him deal with 2 sand wolves. However, when Zhu approached the wolves, they called their friends. Zhan intended to drag Zhu back, but Zhang stopped him as they were testing Zhu. Zhu picked up his bow and was able to defeat the entire group of wolves with a single draw from his bow. Everyone was impressed and they continued their journey. Eventually, they reached the outer area of the red color zone and Zhang asked Zhan to prepare for what was to come. Zhang took the machine gun and started shooting at the monsters above them. As they entered the forest, Zhang warned them that their target was 50 kilometers away and they needed to be on high alert when passing through the red area. Suddenly, Zhu told them to stop and prepare for battle as the monsters were close to them. Even martial artist rank 8 weren't able to sense them, which was surprising. The forest leopard of rank 8 suddenly appeared and charged at Zhan Hu. Zhan Hu managed to withstand the leopard's attack, while Lu Qian and Lu Chuancheng joined forces to wound the beast. The leopard became enraged and started attacking anyone in its sight. The man in the purple suit then stabbed the leopard with his spear. Zhan Hu followed up with a powerful strike that killed the leopard. Zhu, who had been observing the fight, commented that he expected nothing less from a martial artist of rank 8. He warned that if they were to attack him together, he wouldn't be able to escape. After looting a green crystal from the leopard's corpse, Zhu took the corpse into his inventory. As he decided to sell the leopard's organs for money so that he could acquire the elf bow. The group continued to make their way through the forest, knowing that they still had 17 kilometers to go before reaching their target. The rank 9 king rank wind god pterosaur. As they walked, Zhu's senses picked up on something different in the area. He looked around and saw skeletons hanging from the trees. He cautioned Zhang and Xuan, but it was too late. Vines suddenly appeared and captured them. The vines then attacked everyone in the group. Lu tried to help Zhan by cutting the vines, but they proved to be incredibly tough. Zhu waited for the vines' HP bar to appear before using his skill weak point scan to shoot their weak points. He then ordered the group to retreat, telling them that he would deal with the vines on his own. After Zhu had dealt with the vines, Zhan expressed his gratitude towards him for helping the group. As they continued on their journey, they suddenly heard a loud noise, indicating that they had reached their destination. The wind god pterosaur of rank 9. Lu expressed his desire to test the creature's power, while Zhan covered him with his large-caliber anti-equipment sniper. Lu charged towards the pterosaur and attacked its wings, prompting the creature to counterattack with its tail. However, Zhan was able to shoot the tail and prevent Lu from getting hurt. The pterosaur then launched Lu away with its powerful sound waves before turning its attention to Zhan. Zhan managed to dodge the creature's attack, and all of the rank 8 martial artists attacked it together. However, the pterosaur retaliated by unleashing a fiery attack from its mouth. Zhu, who was observing the fight, managed to identify the creature's weak points. Zhu decided to take matters into his own hands and get the pterosaur's attention by jumping into the air. The pterosaur responded by opening its mouth and preparing to strike at Zhu. However, Zhu waited until the creature was close enough before using his backstab skill to deal damage to it. Zhu then asked the team to cover him from afar with their guns, and they did so while he continued to use backstab repeatedly. As a result, they were able to prevent the pterosaur from using its fiery breath attack. They kept this up until the pterosaur's HP bar reached 20%, at which point it went into berserker mode. The group took cover and waited for the bleed effect to finish the job. After half an hour of waiting, the pterosaur finally died, and Zhu leveled up to level 35. He also gained a new skill called Stealth, which allowed him to enter stealth mode. However, the effect would disappear if he was attacked or if he attacked someone. After the intense battle, the team started to loot the wind god pterosaur's corpse, taking its scales and other valuable items. They then returned to their hotel to discuss what to do with the loot. They debated whether to exchange the loot for star crystals or to distribute the items among themselves. As Zhu had contributed the most to the battle, he was given the first choice. However, Zhu humbly suggested that they should go by each other's needs. So they agreed to distribute the loot accordingly, with each member receiving 5% and Zhu receiving 35%. The remaining 35% would be shared by the rest of the team. Zhu then suggested that they sell the pterosaur's skin at a store he knew and split the amount they would receive. Everyone agreed with Zhu's suggestion. The man in the purple suit went to the martial artist guild and presented proof to the director, Shen, that they had killed the wind god pterosaur. As a gesture of appreciation, Director Shen decided to give them a 10% raise in their contribution rate and awarded them 10-star members' badges. The news of their victory over the wind god pterosaur had spread throughout the guild, and many people were asking for their autographs. Zhu managed to slip away unnoticed as he had not worn the badge. He then went to the receptionist and asked for a room. Meanwhile, in a mansion on number 5 Ring Road in Titan City, a martial artist who had been grinding for money to buy the elf bow was disappointed to find out that it had already been sold out. Back in Zhu's room, a delivery man arrived with his package. Upon opening it, Zhu could feel the powerful aura emanating from the bow and commented on its impressive 30% conductivity rate.